afternoon. Ralph P. Hartman here out on the Beneva roadside near Torrey Pines. This is to complete the video that I began earlier. The suggestion for a case on behalf of the American people that I sent to the Department of Justice back in June of 2019. I don't know what happened during the first video, but it was somehow cut off. So anyway, as I was saying, that the persons that I am complaining against on behalf of myself and on behalf of the people of the United States is that in possible emergency situations, that participants seek to confuse rather than offer guidance or help, while also alleging maintaining separate files spanning years, touting that every moment of my life is somehow recorded, that the same routinely don't present to authorities for the plaintiffs or public safety. Also anticipating against and pending opposing testimonies being prepared by the plaintiff by unlawfully accessing the person and files of the plaintiff, even to the extent of psychic assaulting, as I had already mentioned. The activities of the entities and persons named herein constitute a constant disruptive broadcasting action, demanding most all of the plaintiff's time and attention, compelling much work to the exclusion of all else, switching from various means of communication, radios to traffic to music systems to sound of buses and aircraft, etc. And plaintiff also alleges that various participants listed herein anticipate receiving the files of the plaintiff upon death of the plaintiff, including intimidating against the plaintiff having a last will and testament. Anything that would cite anyone else except for the offenders that I'm detailing in this, probing to learn the names of potential beneficiaries to then threaten and otherwise target against them. All of the named and unnamed herein are also pivoted from a preliminary secret medical malpractice judgment in Orlando, Florida, beginning back in mid-1981. For years, first secretly and wrongfully accusing that there had been substance from another man on the lining of the plaintiff's left eye, using a Lake Underhill area clinic visit as a catalyst for the beginning of homosexually oriented conspiracy affecting many others also, with frequent touting of attitudes and intents against heterosexual women in particular, aiming and threatening to intimidate and target ladies of interest, even to the extent of threatening to erase ladies from the world. Plaintiff maintains that the slight stain on cited by the malpractice had been from himself only, and that he had continued to be only heterosexual. Abuse, interference, forced isolation from social interaction, and plaintiff maintains that the offense is forced physical aloneness for more than 33 years. Some of the named and unnamed herein habitually say threats against the people and government of the United States. Most recently, I'm going to detail a particular incident from March 10th, the morning of March 10th of 2019, when witnesses heard loud accosting threats said from traffic broadcasting, specifically that while you've been working on a case that's against us, we've been roasting. They were threatening that they were roasting little girls. The offenders frequently say threats of terrible activities and conspiring against millions of innocents. Also heard was another man who then also in traffic broadcasting described himself as terrible hostiles, whom then alleged being the former stepfather named in this complaint, William B. Love. An observation pertaining to Love through earlier years was that he kept an illegally loaded Derringer in his van using dum-dum bullets, while derisively terming others nothing but dum-dums. Previous threats said by a daughter, whether said under duress or willfully, had been that she had once that she would regard people being supportive of the plaintiff as being in the dumping still. And on another occasion, the same had alleged being a crime of making a baby. The plaintiff had been a witness in the house of William B. Love, Norton Street, Longwood Key, Florida, in late 1990. This was served that at the time I wasn't even aware that there had been a crime. assertion had been said years after. The plaintiff alleges that the individuals and entities variously listed in this complaint are violating U.S. Code Chapter 1971 and also others specified in Chapter 77, 81, 50A, 55, 73, 74, 105, 110A, 113C, 115, 119, and also 121, and various Florida statutes, including 782.04, 784.048, 815.04, Chapter 827, 836.04, 836.05, 843.167, 876.22, 876.32, and 876.34, 876.36, and 876.37. Persons unnamed alleging being representative of the Roman Catholic Church and associated with some named herein participate. Specific emphasis of Diocese of Lincoln, Nebraska, Diocese of Lennon, and Venice, Florida. The plaintiff alleges that the persons unnamed whom allege being officials of the Roman Catholic Church participate in abuse while portraying themselves as though being representative of the plaintiff. As I had said before, there have been many times that people have heard that persons allegedly from the particular church have portrayed the plaintiff as being as though a foreign representative of the Vatican, but it's obviously not true. Their offenses include invasions of privacy that include the use of an invasive operation starting in 1971 or 72, and the previously detailed medical malpractice of 1981 in Orlando, while also wrongly alleging that the plaintiff agrees and pays tithes about it. The plaintiff maintains that being respectful pertaining to various prayers, etc., that the plaintiff is personally not himself a Catholic. A woman alleging, another detail being that back in about 1996, a woman anonymously alleging being a nun who participated in Holocaust activities during the 1940s once threatened that the plaintiff resembles someone they had burned in 1944 and that they'd have similar intents again. The plaintiff opposes such threats and is hopeful for all being saved instead. Other persons unnamed who allege being representative of the Lutheran Church and associated with some herein, including abuse family, are also participants. And also persons unnamed who allege being representative of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and associated with some named herein. The plaintiff alleges that persons unnamed portray themselves as officially representative of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints while participating in abuses and invasions of privacy, while also asserting association with Albert Hartman and being facilitated by abuse installed by Albert Hartman, a father who allegedly was deceased in early 1967, but instead continued in secret. I'm going to continue this soon for the people of the United States. Let this plaintiff for the people, on behalf of the people, for the survival of the people, be your good representative.